So we go ahead and give our attendees Annie and Ivana.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Annie, I don't know about this. I think we said, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Much better. Now we feel welcome. Hi, everybody. My name is Ivana. I am with the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, and today we are going to learn a lot of new things that I am sure not many of you are aware of, but I do have a special guest with me as well. Her name is Annie, and she will be my helper, but she's more than that. She's actually one of our honored heroes, and I'm going to hand the mic over to Annie so she can share her story with you before we move on to the fun stuff, okay?
Hi, I'm Annie. I'm in 6th grade, and this is my story of when I had cancer. When I was 2.5 years old, I got cancer. It was called leukemia. It's kind of hard to understand, but for me, it meant long hours. It meant hours and even days in the doctor's office and in hospitals and lots of shots. Leukemia is when your white blood cells make too many and start fighting with each other. Then it makes you sick. My mom and dad were very scared for me. They didn't know what to do. When I was in the hospital, they put ports in my chest. That's where they could stick the needles to give me chemo and take blood samples. I have a great doctor. He gave me chemotherapy, which kills the bad blood cells that makes me sick. I had to learn how to swallow a pill before I was 3 years old. That was really hard, but I did it. I had to take other medicines too. One made my face all puffy and made me hungry all the time. One gave me blisters in my mouth, and another made me throw up. One other kind of chemo was a shot they gave me in my leg. It really hurt. I hated getting shots. When I was 3, my hair fell out. That was hard for my mom. She cried when it fell out. I told her fall is beautiful, because that's what they told me at the doctor's office, and they were right. All my friends were bald too. It didn't really bother me too much. Wearing wigs and all kinds of hats was fun. I had to go to the hospital for lots of tests. They would stick me with big needles in my back and draw fluid out for tests. That happened over 20 times while I was in chemo. The good part was they gave me medicine to make me go to sleep while they were doing it. Sometimes I would have to get a transfusion. That's when they give you new blood because you don't have enough good blood inside of your body. There's where a lot of days when I didn't feel like playing because the chemo made my stomach hurt. I got to be a pro at throwing up. I didn't even cry. My mom was always surprised that I could say, "Here it comes," and be okay when it was done. We cried. We carried a pupil wherever we went just in case. I understand now that all the medicine made my cancer go away, but it was really hard to understand when I was a little kid. I got chemo for 30 months, that's almost 3 years. It was a long time to take all that medicine, but it worked. I don't have leukemia anymore. Last August was my 6-year anniversary of being off. Pennies for Patients is very important to me because the money raised from Pennies goes towards research to help find a cure for leukemia. My hope is that one day they will find a cure and no other kids have to go through what I did. Thanks for helping by bringing in your pennies and helping fight for other kids just like me. Thank you.
So, what is one word that stood out to you guys while Amy was reading back here? Leukemia. Do you have an idea of what leukemia is? So leukemia is actually a type of blood cancer, okay? Annie has been through so much, and she is a rock star. I mean, she is definitely a hero, and the fact that you all are here today and in support of Annie wearing those awesome hats, that means a lot. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna make sure by the end of this presentation, every single one of you has an idea what my blood looks like, what Annie's blood looks like right now, and what your blood looks like in comparison to what the blood used to look like to a leukemia patient. So what I want to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and play a little clip for you guys, and then we're going to do an awesome skit, okay? Okay. Now pay attention, because I'm going to have questions.
White blood cells fight against diseases. Platelet blood cells help stop bleeding. Blood cancer is a condition that occurs when any one of these cells start to multiply and build up in the bone marrow and other tissues. They no longer can perform the function for which they were made. The platelet can no longer stop bleeding, causing excessive bleeding and easy bruising of the skin. The red blood cells can no longer carry enough oxygen to the various parts of the body. The white blood cells can no longer fight infections, and so it causes the immune system to become impaired, and this results in one getting infections easily. Leukemia, lymphoma, and myeloma.
Miss Wood, can you pause it?
Blood cells.
Okay, all right. So, you have watched a short clip, and I know that every single one of you is going to be able to answer to me the 3 type of good blood cells that are inside of your body and my body. What's one of them? Right there in the neon green? White blood cells. Good job. Do you know what a white blood cell does? Good job. You want to be my white blood cell today? No? Okay. Anybody else want to be a white blood cell? Right there? Come on up. All right. Can I get an applause for the white blood cell? All right. So that's exactly what it is. A white blood cell fights off infection. So let's say you were at the bus stop and somebody's coughing up a storm and you're like, oh my goodness, I hope I don't get sick. I mean, the weather outside is becoming so nice. I cannot be strapped to bed, taking medicine. I want to go ahead and play with my friends. These white blood cells right here are your internal doctors. They make sure they fight off any infection, any disease that's trying to get inside, okay? And take you guys down. What is the second type of blood cell? In the hat right there. Red. Do you know what a red blood cell does? Well, actually a red blood, that's a platelet. So a platelet is, you want to be my platelet today? Come on. Okay, so a platelet is in charge of clotting your blood. So I'm sure every single one of you has cut yourself before, right? When you cut yourself, you bleed. Nobody likes that, right? After that happens, there is a scab that forms. Have you ever wondered how those scabs form? You have? Good job. Okay, it's because of these awesome platelets. So what the platelets do is whenever you cut yourself, they make sure to go ahead and arrive to where you've cut yourself, and they just form an awesome looking scab that makes you look, you know, like I'm cool, right? But then when it falls off, you're just, you know, like brand new, which is what we like, right? Okay, now the third type is a red blood cell. Who wants to be my red blood cell today? Right there. Okay, a red blood cell is in charge of making sure oxygen gets inside your body. So what I want every single one of you to do is very simple. Just inhale. Exhale. Okay, what you've done right now is every single red blood cell in your body has moved up, is grabbing that oxygen and circulating it all over. making sure that you're staying alert, listening to me, listening to your friends, your family, and your teachers, obviously. So what we have here is a white blood cell, a platelet, and a red blood cell. This is what I have inside my body, and this is what you have inside your body. Now, the difference between a leukemia patient's blood is they have something additional called cancer cells. Can I have 4 villains to be my cancer cells today? Okay, Supergirl, Spider-Man, right there in the green, and with the football right there. Okay, so what I want you cancer cells to do is come over here. You guys move up. Okay, spread out a little bit. I want a cancer cell right here. Cancer cell right here. A cancer cell right here. Right here. One right here. And one right here. So before these cancer cells, moved in this person's body, your blood looked like this. This is what your blood looks like right now. You have the red blood cells, giving your body oxygen. You have the platelets, making sure that you are not bleeding out. You have the white blood cells fighting off infection. So if cancer cells were to move up here, do you think your blood would be able to move as smoothly as it is right now? No, exactly. So these cancer cells thought that when they move inside a person's body, that they're going to stay there forever. It's like home sweet home. Well, I don't think so. Our doctors have come up with so many medicines and therapies, one of them being chemotherapy. And I'm sure you guys heard that Annie went through 30 months of chemotherapy. So today, Annie is going to be our Captain Chemo. Annie, can you show them how strong you are? Can you roar, Annie? Roar! Okay, all right, she means business. So you guys better be scared because she's about to take you down. So you better run around. You run around these guys. Just run around. Follow me. All right, okay. And Captain Chemo's gonna move in. You're gonna take all these C's away from them and they're just gonna sit on the floor. Sit on the floor. What happens right now is the fact that Captain Chemo was so strong, the chemotherapy that she went through, it worked because she's cured right now. There's no more cancer cells. This patient is able to do everything that you and I can do, whether it's playing, just walking up the stairs, something that we take granted for, like just, being able to breathe. They can do that again. Now, it's all thanks to a program called Pennies for Patients. Now, one thing that I want to go ahead and share additional is we have a lot of honored heroes in this community that need your help. And your school has stepped up so much by wearing these hats today. You all have really made one big act of kindness in honor of Annie and in honor of everybody else. On top of all that, your school alone is going to give additional money that's going to go towards helping kids such as Annie feel better. Okay? So what I want to go ahead and do right now is show 2 more honored hero stories, and you will see that leukemia can happen to anybody. Okay? And it's not contagious, it does not run in your family, and it usually likes to thrive in youthful bodies. So you can see right here, there's a little girl. Her name is Annie too. And this young gentleman is in high school.
My son always been active. He's very funny. He's a smart kid.
Suspicious to me.
upstairs. He had fallen down in school.
I felt that there was something going on.
We had to run her in for full physical, and everything looked great.
You kind of told the doctor, look, we want to.
My wife took him to the doctor, and she said, you know, run whatever that's got to run.
Somebody came up and looked.
We got a phone call 2 days later.
Cold wounds at the point of
That was the day, July 17th.
And they told us she had leukemia.
Cancer. No way this is happening.
I was shocked. We were normal parents, and suddenly this happened and changed our whole world.
They did a lot of procedures in the very beginning.
I had to stay in the hospital for surgeries and a whole bunch of testing on my blood.
I was going down samples, so I saw that.
They put a point in my chest, and that's when they kept trying to give me 2 months ago.
The biggest thing is we have to make sure Amy gets the medication that she's on at that time. Only 1.5 pills of this 3 times a week, but not on Friday, and we're going to do the Wednesday. But then also she needs 2 pills of this, 1 at night, 1 half in the day. It's,
It makes me feel sick.
the legs hurt, her head hurt.
I want to stay home and be sick.
That was a long haul in the beginning.
It's kind of easier as we got apart.
I can't tell you how difficult it would be if we didn't have the support.
It's very important to get involved.
The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society was probably one of the best times.
It is a pressure push.
Love of everybody in the family coming together to support each other.
Because of all this, me and Natalie close to another.
Seeing each of my children do miraculous things, including me right there while she was undergoing chemotherapy.
My relationship with my son, became much closer.
It's comforting to know how much my family cares about me.
Never wondered why her.
I think his personality is sweet.
She just thought this is something she needs to do to get to the next place.
He's putting things in treatment.
She's been really very brave to overcome.
It kind of visualizes in perspective.
Okay, last year alone, the School and Youth Pennies for Patients program raised over $28 million. $28 million, and guess what? It was all students your age throughout the nation. So when you think of a penny, a dime, a nickel, a quarter, $1 that you may have brought into school to go ahead and wear that hat, think a little further. The fact that you are putting in that penny, donating it, you are actually helping save a life, okay? Many times I'm asked, Pennies for Patients, Leukemia Lymphoma Society, which hospital do you guys help? We don't help hospitals. We are in every single hospital, and we help patients. So patients that are in this community, patients that are going through blood cancers, that need the financial support, comes from you guys. And I just want to say thank you for all your help, okay? Now, today we learned a lot of new things. We learned about leukemia. Leukemia is what? Blood cancer. Good job. Chemotherapy is what? Okay, helps treat your blood cancer, right? You guys and I have 3 types of blood cells inside your body. What are they? Red, white, platelets, okay? In comparison to leukemia patients that have one more extra thing that multiplies so many times called cancer cells. Now, when I leave today, I trust in you guys that you are my eyes, you're my ears, and you're my voice. I need you to raise awareness in this community, and everybody that you talk to, I need you to tell them the act of kindness that you did today, which was help the Pennies for Patients program with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, okay? And I need you to go ahead and educate those people about what you learned today, because there is one me, and there's a lot of you guys, like hundreds of you. So can I count on you guys doing that for me? Yeah? Does anybody have any questions about everything you learned today? No? blood samples? Do you have?
When stick a needle in, these are my 2 scars where I had my warts. They would draw blood through a tube and come out here, and they would test my blood pressure. Okay.
All right. Let's go over here.
What types of cancer?
There is a lot of other types of cancer. Exactly, they do not have to be blood. They can be brain cancer, they can be tumors, they can be all sorts of things. Now, there is a lot out there that we don't know, and that's why we use programs such as Pennies for Patients to not only help people financially, but find and research on finding cures to go ahead and beat the cancer cells that are multiplying in our bodies. Anybody else? And you want to go ahead and take the mic?
What school you go to? Middle School.
What was your favorite hat to wear?
Well, I had this skirt that it was long and it came like down to here. And I put it on my head and I made it look like a wig. And I wore that everywhere I went. Well, I really don't know how to get cancer. They just...
Okay, so as far as blood cancer goes, I don't know if you all heard Annie talk about, like why leukemia happens. So those white blood cells, one pesky white blood cell decides to multiply so many times, remember from the experiment that we just saw, and it just clogs the pathway of the good stuff trying to go ahead and move throughout your body. Now, the reason why they multiply, we don't know. So that's one of the things that we're trying to research, but you best believe that we are right there to go ahead and nip them in the bottom to go ahead and make sure that Annie and everybody else, are still here with us, and they're able to go ahead and play with their friends and do the things that you and I like to do on a daily basis, okay? Now, thank you so much, everybody, for your undivided attention. You were an amazing crowd. Annie, you were a rock star. You want to go ahead and say a few words to them?
Thank you, and just keep bringing in your pennies to help find cures.
All right. Go ahead and hand over. Thank you so much.
Boys and girls, you did a great job listening. We just received a wonderful compliment from Ivana of how well you were listening and answering questions and asking questions. And now I need for you to do one more thing. I need you to look to your teacher, find your teacher, and follow your teacher